here, and there's a video I want to show you, but I'm not going to even attempt it with Zoom. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through the PowerPoint and explain to you why someone got you on here. It's like, look, you have to get on here and see what's going on. Again, my name is Buck. I'm right here at our home office in Utah. For those of you that don't know, our company was actually started, the technology started in 03. My business partner, Michael, it actually was just here. He just now got back to Dubai. Our main home office has been in Dubai since our inception. That's where most of our management team, some of our account managers, even a few programmers are there. We have another office in Boca Raton, which is almost all management team as well as account managers. And then we've got Bangalore, India, where almost all of our programmers are at. And if any of you, I know there's a lot of people on here, so I don't want to unmute it, but if any of you have heard of Bangalore, India, this is kind of like the Silicon Valley of India. Okay, top tier programmers, guys that have been at Google, guys that have been at PayPal, Honey, just like I said, top level programmers. And then of course, I'm here in Utah. And my partner, Michael, actually was in this space before it was a space. Like if I could sit down with each one of you individually and say, when is the first time you remember hearing about cashback? Or when's the first time you remember, seeing that, or maybe hearing a friend talk about it? And most people will tell you Capital One with Samuel Jackson, and then they'll tell you, Chase Bank with Kevin Hart. And then of course, now we've got Will Ferrell with PayPal. And the unique thing about that is these brands, they're not really giving us cash back. They're giving us our fees back on a credit card. All of our cash back comes from the actual merchant, right? It comes from what you're going to see here, Nike and hotels.com and Travelocity and all the stores. Okay. Now, when I first started talking with Michael, I've known Michael now for almost 14 years. And I was like, listen, I know what you're doing overseas, because he's working with big banks, big insurance companies, telecom companies. If you land in Dubai right now, I was just there 8 weeks ago, and turn on your phone, that loyalty program that pops up is us. And I'm going to actually show you this app here, assuming I can get it to work on Zoom, which will be another adventure that we're going to go for. But what I want all of you to know is that our biggest customer is Western Union. And I'm sure that most of you on here have heard of them. They've got one of the biggest databases in the world. If you ask most people don't know, Western Union's been around since the mid 1800s. And when they came to us, it was right around 6 years ago. They were like, look, we have this database, but we don't know anything about it. We don't know anything about the sender. We know someone in Utah sending money, someone in Mexico sending someone money in Japan, but we don't even know who's sending it or who's receiving it. And Western Union has got around 300 to 400 million active users. So when they came to us and said, hey, can you help us with a loyalty program? We're like, of course. Now, what we do is on your phone, okay, we give you an app. I know all of you have used an app. I remember when I didn't know what an app was. I remember my first iPhone, I was in Denver going to a Bronco game. And what we do is we put your logo or logo of a business that you know in the left-hand corner. And then what we do is we give you a landing page, okay? And so I'm going to show this to you here in a second, but I want to go through the first part. And then what we do is we use a technology called card linking. Now, it took us over 2 years to get Visa, MasterCard to do this card linking program, over 2 years, okay? And the reason is because we give you a real-time notification. So if any of you have been to a McDonald's lately, and I don't recommend going to McDonald's, but let's face it, we all go there. No one just likes to admit it. But when you go through the drive-thru right now, what they say to you is they say, will you be using the McDonald's app today? And the reason for that is because they want you to upload your debit or credit card to the app, and then you can just order, and you don't need to pay with a credit card or cash. You're in there, go to location, hit what you want, and it's waiting for you. So we're the only cashback program with this cutting edge technology of card linking. And so what we're able to do is imagine a business, a car wash, a merchant processing company, insurance business, any business with a database. And they have the app co-branded. Then their database is uploading their debit or credit cards. And every time they swipe that debit or credit card, they're being reminded of that brand. Can any of you see how this would be valuable to a business? Okay. Now, we've got over 30,000 restaurants. I know this says 20,000. Okay. I remember when it was like 10, 15,000. Okay. Right now, we're probably approaching 35 to 40,000. So this is one of the fastest areas that's growing. And again, I'm going to show it to you in the app. To be in here, you have to be a minimum of 5% cash back. So I was talking to an influencer earlier today. She has 25 million followers, guys. 25 million. Okay. And her and her partner were explaining to me they got their own skincare line and like makeup line. They're going on Sephora, I think it's called, if I said that right. And this girl was like, I said, look, how much do you eat out? Basically, because when we were kids, you would eat at home all the time, and eating out was a special occasion. And now in her generation, they eat out all the time, and eating at home with your family is a special occasion. And God forbid you ask your kids not to bring the cell phone to the table, right? Okay. So she was like, look, me and my data, we spend every day we're eating out. Okay. So imagine being able to help someone who's spending $100, $200, $300 a week eating out, and they're getting a minimum of 5% cash back every time they do that. Okay. It really adds up. We got every major store, Walmart, we got Target. That's what we call Target in Utah. For those of you that don't know that, Home Depot, Lowe's, Lego, Best Buy, Macy's. Sam's Club right now is 8%. Over the holidays, it was just over 10%. Under Armour, Dick's Sports, Nike, we've got everybody, okay? And again, these cashback programs go up and down. The holidays, sometimes it's double, triple, but look at all of the brands that we have. And then we have got luxury brands that nobody has. Apple, Skin by Kim, Kylie Cosmetics, Bloomingdale's, and we've got Callaway Golf, if any of you fellas on here like the golf, right? So again, we're getting cash back on brands that don't discount, right? And then this is a really big area for us is travel. Okay, we got almost every major search engine you can get. Booking.com, TripAdvisor, Travelocity, Expedia, Hotels.com. We even got VRBO. On a low end here, I've seen 3 to 5 to 7%. On a high end, I've seen 8 to 10, maybe sometimes 15 to 20, right? But every major travel portal, imagine helping families getting cash back on money they're going to spend anyway. And then we've got our own portal, which I'm going to show you. Okay, so 850,000 hotels worldwide, 180,000 hotels in the United States of America, and we've got every major amusement park that you can name. Disneyland, Disney World, SeaWorld, Legoland, Cedar Point, water parks, and this is all over the world. Low end, the lowest I've seen is 10%. I'd say the highest I've seen is 50 to 60%, but I would say the average is about probably between 20 and 30%. Okay, now I know you can't see it now because of the lighting in here, but there's a Hyatt hotel right over my left shoulder. And I don't know, 6 months ago, 7 months ago, my partner Michael was staying there. And at that time, their best rate was $250 a night. And we got $115 cash back on a $250 room. And we did that for 30 days straight. He was here for 1 month at that time. So what I'm going to do right now, and I'm praying that I can do this here, is I'm going to share the app with you guys so you can see it work in real time, okay? I want you to be able to see this. So I'm going to go here. It looks like I'm sharing it. Let me know if you guys can see it. Share. I'm going to share my screen. And Rose, just give me a thumbs up because I'm going to go to the app because I want you guys to see it work in real time, okay? So this is the app. You guys can see it, right? And what I'm going to do here is let's pretend that all of you, all right, you just came to Utah, right? We're doing an event here at the office or at one of the convention centers. And by the way, I'm glad I said that. We are not a network marketing company. We're not an affiliate marketing company. We are a business-to-business model with a very progressive pay plan. And you can build a book of business here that is really, really ridiculous, okay? But when you look at what we did with Visa and MasterCard, which took us over 2 years, you can't get that relationship if you are other than a business-to-business model, okay? So I forgot to tell you guys that. Okay, so what I'm gonna share with you here is I'm gonna go to food and drink. So y'all came in, we're going to, and you're like, we're hungry, let's go out to dinner. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to share with you the map. So we hit the map, and as you guys can see, these little blue teardrops, what that means is if we went out to dinner right now, because I've uploaded in my back office 5 debit and credit cards, you can see them right here. Okay, so I got on the app, I uploaded these 5 cards, and I swear to you, it was like 3 minutes, 4 minutes to put them in. It was super fast. And you can see at the top, I have a payout card. It's in green. You see that? Okay, so that's what that payout card means. And what this means is that at any one of these restaurants that we went out to right now, when I swipe my debit or credit card to pay the bill, I am in 30 to 60 seconds going to get cash back. And you can see right here. So what I'm showing you, that $4.04, that $1.38, that $6, that $4, that $4, that $2 at Walmart. Okay, what you're going to see here is this all showed up immediately within 30 to 60 seconds. In fact, some of these, I don't know if you guys have noticed it that are here at the office, but it's getting faster. I don't know if you guys have noticed that or not. Okay, So you can see here, pending is around $50. So let's say I'm doing just about $10 a week, give or take. All right, so $10 a week. So I'm doing a little over, right now I'm on track, just eating out for around $500 for the year. Okay, so that's the food and drink, and that works everywhere in America and very soon in Canada. Okay, now let's go to retail. So let's go to retail. I did a, what do you call it? A podcast with a big sports guy. And I was shocked in here at the different places that were in here. NFL.com is in here, NBA.com, NHL, MLB. I think Fanatics was in here. But I want you to notice where it says card link. So what that means is if I go into Banana Republic and swipe my debit or credit card, because it's already linked in the app, I'm automatically going to get 2% cash back, or 4%, or 4%, or 7.5% cash back. But also in here, there are stores that are click offer. In click offer, all that means is I click it, I go through the app, I do what I'm going to do, I make sure I use one of the 5 cards that's in the app, and then I'm going to get cash back there as well. So 80-90% of America shops online anyway. So between card linking and click offer, we can help anyone. And I'm going to just show you guys a couple on here. Like I said, Sam's Club right now is 8%. How do you say it? Sheelam?
Sheen.
S-H-E-I-N. Sheen. S-H-E-I-N. Sheen. So this is really big, ladies. I just want you to know, I don't get it, but it's okay. 8% cash back. Another really big one is Temu. This one I've heard of just because I've got 8 kids. So here you can see up to 30% cash back. This is a really big one right now. So in retail, you can see that travel, as I shared with you earlier, 60, TripAdvisor, Hertz, Cheapo Air, Booking.com, Travelocity, Hotels.com, like just all kinds of things in there. But this is the one I wanted to get to, and I just realized that I haven't been on this for a while, so I'm going to put in my phone number here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you our portal. And what I want you guys to notice about our portal is that 850,000 hotels in the world is a lot. Okay, and 180,000 in America is a lot. The average family is spending $4,000 to $6,000 for a vacation. Okay, so imagine being able to help that family get 20, 30% cash back. Okay, so I'm just going to pick a random place. So I'm going to ask you guys here in the office, do you want me to pick Vegas or Orlando? Because I don't care. Just Orlando. Okay, so I'm going to go Orlando, Florida. And then 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, how many days?
3 days.
3 days. So roll 24, 27. Let's hit search. It takes a second as it's thinking, right? And then what I want you to notice here is the cash back. Okay, so for those of you on here that are new, so any business, okay, that monetizes its database, they're getting 10% of what the cash back is from their database. So for every $1, they're getting 10 cents. For every $10, they're getting $1. For every $100, they're getting $10. So this is very important to you a little bit later in this little webinar. So let's look here. So Century Millennia, I'm assuming that's by Disney. 1738 for 3 nights, basically $500 a night, $322 cash back. Right here, Universal Cabana Beach Resort, that's obviously on site, $353, 3 nights, $1,100, $262 cash back. Okay, so what I want you to think about are all the people in these businesses, databases that are going to travel. I think the average American, if you Google it, is doing 20 nights a year, 25 nights a year at a hotel between, family and work. So this is real saving. And again, this cash back is going to the card once a month. So even though they're being notified in real time, 30 to 60 seconds of what the cash back is they're getting, they're going to actually get the cash back once a month. I want to make sure all of you understand that. And then they're being reminded of the brand, right? So again, I'm not going to unmute this with this many people on here, but I'll ask all of you, how many times have you used your debit or credit card in the last 7 days? What would you guys say that are here in the office?
20.
20? 20? Okay, so maybe more, right? So imagine if every time someone had done that, they're being reminded of ABC Car Wash or ABC Merchant Processing or ABC Direct Sales Company, what ABC Restaurant, whatever the database is, they're being reminded of that brand. Now, the other thing I'm going to show you here is refer a friend, because I don't want to go back to this. I'll get to this here in the PowerPoint here in a second. But what I want you to think about is, can any of you think of any business that doesn't want new customers? Okay, so every person using the app in the program that signed them up, because we go business to business, and then we have this business market to their database, right? We're not business to consumer. Okay, we go business to business, and then we help them get that database. So imagine a database of people using the app, and they're sharing this QR code with people who've never been to the car wash, who've never heard of the merchant processing company, but they're now benefiting from that. And I think all of you can see how that would be really, really valuable. Okay. Now, speaking of that, and I want to make sure that I shared everything with you on here. I'm sure some of you on here have heard of a company called Parlor. All right. I just want you guys to know I had never heard of this company. I'm just letting you know I'm not a big social media guy. My kids tell me all the time I'm old school. But Parlor was going to spend around $2 million building what they were going to call Parlor Pay. And when we talked with them and shared with what we just shared with you, these guys got like 7 million, whatever it is, in their database. They're like, can we buy this right now? All right. And so what we do is we co-brand this and we deliver this in 4 to 6 business days. And so I actually talked to the owner of this on a Wednesday. We delivered it the following Wednesday, and you can see what their app looks like. So I just want all of you to think of businesses, of owners that you know that would want to monetize their database. And in doing that, what we're able to do, and is there anything on this app you guys can think of that are here at the office that I didn't show? Because I pretty much showed all of it, but I don't want to keep going back and forth. I think I covered all of it. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to stop sharing on my phone now and go back to just the PowerPoint. And what I want all of you to think about is imagine an AI technology that is marketing, that is target marketing this database. So it knows ladies, that you ladies like Bloomingdale's, Kate Spade Bags, Skin by Kim, Sheen, right? And it knows fellas, we like Cabela's and Dick's Sports and Nike and Under Armour, right? So the more they use it, the more it target markets what they like. And then the referral thing I just showed you, right? Imagine everyone in that database having a QR code. And when they're with friends and family or they're out on a business trip and they show someone, hey, I just got, $300 checking into the Hyatt. And the friend goes, well, hey, how do I get $300? And they're like, look, man, all you need to do is swipe this QR code. I think all of you can see why that would be really powerful. We do all the back end, push notifications, because most business owners don't want their business to turn into customer service. And then this is a slide I wanted to get to. This is a slide that you want to pay attention to, everyone. What we do is we give a partner that's a business owner with some type of database 10% of all the cash back that their program is generating. So let's say it's a small mom and pop restaurant, right? They haven't been open over a long time and only have 1,000 customers. And those customers only have 2 debit or credit cards. The average American, according to Experian, has got 4 to 6. But let's say for whatever reason, they've only got 2 and they're only getting $100 cash back per year. That means we're paying that database $200,000 on behalf of that business. And the owner of the business is getting 10% of $200,000, which is $20,000 for doing what? Not very much. Let's say there's 10,000 people in that business and they've only got 2 debit or credit cards and they're only getting $100 cash back a year per card. So I'm going to ask you guys here, does $100 a year seem a little low?
Yeah.
Okay. That's $8 a month, everyone, $2 a week. Okay. I'm doing like $10 a week. I'm not even trying. Okay. So yes, I think $100 is low, but we're going to roll with it. That means we're paying that database $2 million on behalf of the business, and the business owner is making 10% of $2 million, which is $200,000. That's $16,000 a month for not doing very much. But let's say 100,000 customers, 2 debit or credit cards, $100 cash back per year per card. That means we're paying the database $20 million. And that means that the owner of that business is making $2 million. Now, if any of you are wondering why there are so many sales agents on here that are super excited, it's not because of what the partner is making. It's because they're making 30% of whatever the partner is making on a monthly basis. So this really is the best of both worlds. I told you, we're a business-to-business model over here, but we have a very progressive pay plan that's got an unbelievable residual component to it, which I'll get to in a second. What we give the partner in their back office is real-time metrics. These metrics are gold to a business owner. So what I want you all to think about, and I just realized that my laptop is gonna die in a second. So what I want all of you to realize is this, is when you can show a business owner how to create a secondary income, right? Secondary, by building their primary brand, and they're not having to put in very much effort, that is a recipe for major, major success. Now, churches, schools, nonprofits, and influencers, over 100,000 that are verifiable, are free. Okay, I want to say it one more time. Churches, schools, nonprofits, and influencer over 100,000. So over 100,000 means this. is if you send out a message and only 3 people give you a thumbs up, we know you're not a real influencer. Okay, right? Now, everybody else is paying a one-time setup fee of $5,000. Okay, and then what we do is for every 1,000 debit or credit cards that are uploaded in their app, we're charging $250 a month. So 2,000 would be 500, 3,000 would be 750. Once they get to 10,000 cards that are uploaded, now they get moved up. Now they're paying $995, and then you can see at 50,000 they move up to $1495, and they're just paying the difference for each program. This money does not go to us. This money is for bank encrypted security because we do not store that credit card and debit card information. Okay, so we have no monthly maintenance. Like some of these overseas companies literally pay 10, 15, 25 grand a month just to run their program, right? So if any of you on here are business owners are like, hey, I totally want this for my own business. Okay, what you're going to want to do is you can figure out that roughly 10 to 20% of what you make will go for credit card storage. Okay, so that's just, just sheer numbers. I believe this is why most of you are on here right now, okay, is this part. And so what I'm going to share with you, and let me know if you guys can see it, okay, is I'm going to show you our pay plan, okay? And the reason I want to show this to you is because someone got you on here because they said, listen, there's a real business opportunity here, all right? So I don't know how many calls I've done today. I believe it's 8 or 9. I'm not positive. You guys can probably hear it in my voice a little bit. But I would say out of those 8 or 9 presentations I did today, only 1 or 2 of them saw this, okay? Because a business owner is only going to be concerned about Savers app, right? They're making 10%. They don't know about the sales agent, which is why the majority of you are still here, okay? Because what we do on that setup, on that $5,000 setup, we pay out 25%. So if you went out and got a business, we would pay you $1,250 the following Friday after it's delivered. So the first way you make money here is weekly, right? So you sell 2 programs in a week. You know that you made $2,500. We deliver that program in 4 to 6 business days. You're getting paid the following Friday. Okay, so you can see you can make a great upfront weekly income. But then what we do, and this is why there's so many people on here, is we pay you 30% of what the partner or the business owner is making. So do you remember earlier when I showed you that if you had a business with 1,000 customers and they only had 2 debit or credit cards and they were only getting $100 cash back a year? Do you remember when I showed you that we're paying the database 200 grand, we're paying the owner 20 grand, but you, the sales agent, would make 30% of that $20,000. That means you made $6,000 for doing what? 1 introduction. What if you had 10 accounts, right? You're making 60 grand a year, 5 grand a month for what? 10 introductions. There's 34 million businesses in the United States of America, and there's 500,000 new ones starting every month. Do any of you think that you could find 10? Okay. Now, do you remember earlier when I showed you 10,000 customers with 2 debit or credit cards and $100 cash back per year? Okay. Remember, the database is getting $2 million. They're pretty happy, correct? The owner is getting paid 200 grand. They're pretty happy, correct? What's 30% of 200,000? That's right. You're making 60 grand for that 1 introduction. So what if you had 10 of them? Okay. 600 grand a year, 50 grand a month. That's obviously a theoretical example, but I think all of you can see how it would really add up, right? Well, what if you brought in a company that had 100,000 customers, 2 debit or credit cards, $100 cash back per year per card? We're paying the database $20 million. They're pretty excited. We're paying the owner of the company, the owner of the database, what we call a partner, $2 million a year, 160 grand a month. But you, the sales agent that brought in that program, 30% of $2 million would be 600 grand. How many of you on here could make it on 600 grand a year if you had to? Like you really cut back, you guys could do it? Okay, just want to make sure, right? But what if you had 10 of those companies? Okay, so this is the first way that you get paid is you make 25% on the front end of whatever you do yourself, and you make 30% on the back end of whatever you do yourself. But we do have a component in here, okay? We have 1 level. Okay, again, we're not MLM and we're not affiliate marketing. There's nothing wrong with that. That just isn't the model that we are. Okay, so we pay you 10% on the front end of what any agent does that you bring in. So if you had brought in me and I went out and sold a program this week, I made $1,250 in that $5,000 sale. You would have made $500 and you weren't even there. Okay, can any of you think of people in the United States of America that would want to get on a Zoom call like this and learn more about this program, and that can make a part-time or full-time income. Okay, so again, I'm sure some of your minds are already spinning of people across the country. We're looking for business to business people, everyone. Okay, the second way that you get paid off of a sales agent that you introduce to this business is you're making 10% of what they do on the back end. Okay, so that would look like this. So let's say that you're an agent and you brought me in. I go out and I sign up a business for $1,250. You made $500, and let's say for the year I have 1,000 customers in one program, or maybe I have 250 customers in 4 programs. But for the year, I've got 1,000 customers, 2 debit or credit cards, only doing $100 a year. That would mean that you would make $2,000 a year off of me, your sales agent, that got one business for the year, right? But let's say that, again, you brought me in and I had a business with 10,000 customers. Again, 2 debit credit cards, $100 cash back per year. Okay, you made $500 on when I signed them up for the $5,000, and then you would make $20,000 for the year off that one program that I brought that had 10,000 customers, or I could have brought in 4 programs with 2,500 customers. The point is, there's 10,000 customers. But let's say you brought me in, I was a little bit of a go-getter, like Liz, maybe like Dustin or Jordan or Chad or maybe Blanca or someone that's a go-getter. Okay, 100,000 customers. Okay, you would make $200,000 a year. Again, I could have brought in 4 companies with 25,000, 1 company with 100,000, 10 companies with 10,000. The point is, I have a total of 100,000 customers doing the numbers I've been sharing with you all evening. You're making $200,000 a year off of one person that brought in a handful of businesses or one really big business. Now, this is what this would look like. So if you had 10 sales agents, so out of whatever, 350, 400 million people in America, whatever the number is right now, you could find 10 people that wanted to make a part-time income, okay? And you were making $2,000 per person, you would make right around 25 grand for the year. So you found 10 agents, they were all part-time, they all brought in 1,000 customer business, you're gonna make about 25 grand a year. But what if those customers, those 10 agents brought in a 10,000 customer business? You're gonna make about 200 grand a year. But what if those 10 agents that you had each brought in 10 companies with 10,000, 1 company with 100,000, you're making over $2 million a year. So what I want everyone to think about, because I'm gonna show a little analogy here, I think that will stick with all of you, is this business, right, is very simple, because all we're doing is we are showing businesses how to monetize their database. And with our pay plan, we have a great upfront and back end, both on what you do yourself and off any agent that you introduce into the business. I'm not going to talk a lot about regional manager. This is for someone that wants to open up an office. This is for someone that wants to run full time. Like, we've got people right now that are really running after this. And then the dashboard that you get as a sales agent is unbelievable. You're getting real-time commission, you're getting marketing material, you're getting all kinds of training. And basically you can run a multi-million-dollar business out of this back office. And again, in your back office of Loyalty Partner Group, there's a demonstration of this. So what I'm going to do here real quickly is, and I'm hoping I can do this, is I'm going to share my whiteboard, and I'm praying that this will work, okay? And I'm going to hit okay. I just need you guys to tell me if you can see it. Not yet. Okay, here we go. Let's try it one more time. You cannot open up during screen share. Okay, so I have to stop sharing my screen up here. Is it what's saying?
Go up here. Stop your screen share.
Okay, here. So I got to stop my screen share here. All right, I got an expert here on Zoom. All right, stop there. And now I can share here.
Close that out.
This, and then hit okay, and now hit whiteboard.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm hoping this works. Oh my goodness, it works. I got one thing to work right. Okay, so this is really, really important. All right, so when you look at this model, the number one question that you're getting is, where does the money come from? Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show this to you. All right, and you want to really pay attention to this. So the customer is right here. Okay, and let's say that the customer is getting 5 to 10% cash back. All right, you guys are writing on my board. Can you guys stop that, please? Okay, I don't know who's writing on my board, but if you guys could stop, it would be fantastic. I feel like I got my kids here in my office here.
I accidentally touched this.
Okay, all right. So the customer, is the customer happy? And the answer is, of course, they're happy. But then right over here, you have the business owner, or what we call the partner. And this partner is making 10% off of its database. Are they happy? And I think all of you are already nodding. Yes, of course they're happy. But then you've got the sales agent right here. And the sales agent is making 25% on the front end and 30% on the back end. And anyone they bring in, they're making 10%. I just call it 10 and 10. The front end and the back end. Are the sales agents happy? And I think all of you can figure out the sales agents are pretty doggone happy. But then there's the company, right? There's us. Are we happy? And I think it's obvious that we're pretty happy, right? But where does the money come from? And the money comes from here. It comes from Nike, and it comes from all the restaurants, and it comes from all the stores, and it comes from all the travel. So what we're doing is we're sending all the things I showed you in the app, a paying customer first. So they send the money to us after we send them a paying customer. Then we pay the databases, we pay the partners, and most importantly, we pay all of you. So in this model, everybody wins. The customer wins, the business owner wins, the sales agents win, we the company win, and all these merchants rather love us because we're sending them a paying customer first. So I'm going to show you guys the website of where you would go to sign up. But before I do that, I want to make, because all of you on here are sales agents. So Savers app is over here, and you're going to show this to 95% of everyone you talk to. But this side over here, Loyalty Partner Group, is an invite-only club, right? The majority of business owners that we don't show this to. The influencer where 25 million people I showed this to didn't show our Loyalty Partner Group, right? The social media company with 7 million people didn't show Loyalty Partner Group. So this here is invite only. And the people you want to invite here are people with business to business experience, okay? It's very, very important. So the last thing I'm going to show you here, in fact, I'm going to show it on here because I think I know how to do this. Is this going to share my whole screen? No, it's not. I got to go back to here. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you guys. Okay, so I have to stop sharing this here. And then I'm going to come right back here. I'm going to show you the two websites that I want you to go to right when we get done here, because we're going to be done here in a couple of minutes. By the way, we do a Zoom call every Tuesday and every Thursday night, okay? It's very, very important that all of you know that. And what we're gonna be able to do for each and every one of you is we are gonna be able to help you through our training program. And again, I can't give you guys everything that you need to know to run a multi-million-dollar business in one, but I do wanna show you this. Number one is Savers app. Can all of you see this? Okay, this here is where you are going to go to sign up a business, okay? Again, this is basically an online website of what I just presented to you, and 95% of all your questions will be answered right down here in frequently asked questions, okay? So if any of you got lots of questions, please read through here. Anytime someone asks me a question, I'm like, did you go and read through the frequently asked questions? This is where you're gonna sign up a business for the $5,000. And like I told you, it's very simple. Just ask them, you want to use a debit or credit card, and then we'll deliver it to you in 4 to 6 business days. Okay, very, very easy. Loyalty Partner Group. Some of you got sent here by other agents. Maybe some of you are working with Dustin. Maybe some of you are working with Liz. Maybe some of you are working with Bobby. Maybe some of you are working with Rich. Some of you are working with different leaders all across the country. It is very important that you make sure you have the right number. We don't have a sign-up fee. We don't have a starter kit. We're pretty boring. Where what you see is what you get, right? Fill this out. Make sure you know the sales agent's name and their ID number. And then what we do is we give you a 5-digit number. And then the last thing I'm going to try to pull off for those of you that stayed, and I'm assuming you can hear this, is let me know you can hear this.
Welcome to the Savers App Rewards Program, an app that provides your customers with cashback, savings, and rewards on their everyday purchases, boosting loyalty to your brand and driving repeat business for you. With your co-branded rewards program, your customers can earn cash back at over 20,000 restaurants and hundreds of brand name stores, both in-store and online. They'll also enjoy exclusive access to our members-only travel portal, where they can earn up to 50% cash back at more than 850,000 hotels and attractions worldwide, including 180,000 hotels in the US. Plus, we offer cash back on major travel booking sites. Enrollment is quick and simple. Your customers just add their Visa or MasterCard credit cards to your co-branded app. They'll automatically earn cash back whenever they shop at participating stores, whether online or in store. And the best part? The cash back is automatically credited to their preferred card with no extra steps required. Your app also includes a powerful customer referral program because we know how quickly good news spreads. This allows you to effortlessly grow your customer base at no extra cost by helping new customers start earning cash back on their everyday purchases. We handle your marketing with engaging newsletters, in-app recommendations, and real-time notifications, making it easy to keep your customers informed and engaged while continuously seeing your brand. Plus, as a partner, you'll enjoy a fully customized app featuring your logo and colors, along with your very own personalized customer website to enhance your brand's presence. You'll also have access to a dedicated partner portal where you can track customer activity and monitor your earnings in real time. As a partner, you'll earn on every transaction, strengthen customer loyalty, boost your brand, and grow your revenue and customer base effortlessly. Your new loyalty cashback program with Savers app is more advanced than most loyalty programs offered by Fortune 500 companies today, and it represents your brand in the best possible way. Get your program started by enrolling today. Savers app, where loyalty pays.